my skin. Stack up those dreams, won't let them go. Some way, somehow, my day will come. This is my time, gonna light it up. Stepping out into the unknown. Stepping out, oh, stepping out to whatever's coming on. Stepping out, I'm a man on fire. Sounds crazy, but I never lose. Oh, you know I'm gonna give it all I got. Do what I came to do. I'm a man on fire, and my day is overdue. This burn is never gonna stop. Do what I came to do. I'm a man on fire. But back to the wall is how I live my life. I risk it all, put it on the line, then blow it up every single time. It's a big world, I'll take it in. If I don't try, how can I win? This chance might never come again. Stepping out into the unknown. Stepping out, oh, stepping out to whatever's coming on. Stepping out, I'm a man on fire. Sounds crazy, but I never lose. Oh, you know I'm gonna give it all I got. Do what I came to do. I'm a man on fire, and my day is overdue. This burn is never gonna stop. Do what I came to do. I'm a man on fire. Oh, oh, oh. I'm a man on fire. Oh, oh, I'm a man on fire. Stepping out into the unknown. Stepping out, oh, stepping out to whatever's coming on. Stepping out, I'm a man on fire. Sounds crazy, but I never lose. Oh, you know I'm gonna give it all I got. Do what I came to do. I'm a man on fire, and my day is overdue. This burn is never gonna stop. Do what I came to do. I'm a man on fire. I'm a man on I'm a man on fire.
Happy Hump Day, you filthy animals. It's Chris and Mark with the NWA Exchange podcast, the only podcast you need to listen to know everything about Bella Vista and beyond. Hope everybody's having a great hump day. We got a midweek update. We'll get into it right now. What's going on, my home slice?
Not much, man. What's not going on is the internet, man.
The internet is just all in uproar today. It was just somebody. I want to know who let Biden in the data center. Like, for real. He unplugged the cable. Bentonville, Rogers, parts of Bella Vista. Everybody.
Yeah.
The whole internet was just crap today. I mean, luckily the backup is the backup, man. But I saw a lot of posts on social media, man, and people were continually asking, how is T-Mobile? Because they have this residential thing. Well, they don't have the residential thing 100% available in Bella Vista, Arkansas, but I can go ahead and tell you that during Amped Electric Games last summer, we had 2 Starlinks that were brought out to support the event for internet, for our broadcast. And I had time to sit down and work with those Starlink units, and I was not impressed at all. So if you're looking at Starlink as a viable option, if I would just, it's not there yet. Okay, it's satellite internet. It is impressive that you can get internet anywhere. Doesn't matter if you're within a service coverage area or not. It's just not. It didn't have the throughput that I was expecting, especially for like live broadcasting. You need a lot of upload. You need download as well, but you need a lot of upload to do a live broadcast. And so I went to the T-Mobile store. I talked with them about the options that they had because I'm like, this is a paid gig.
Right.
I've got to make sure that my customer's happy. What do you guys have on deck? And they said, well, we have this residential gateway. And where do you live? I said, well, I live in Bella Vista. They said, it's not available in Bella Vista for the 100% unlimited, right?
Right.
But you still have coverage there. And it's my cell phone provider, so I know I've got pretty good speeds off my cell phone. But the residential gateway actually is a good, viable option. I want to give our viewers just some contrast, okay? Cox is still having issues, right? And there was a Cox truck across the street on the other street across the way this evening, right? I don't know what they're doing or why they're making all these changes, but it just seems like they temporarily remediate it, and then the next day people are having issues. Some people woke up today with no internet. Some people went into their places of business, no internet, right? So I bring up T-Mobile as a viable option, right?
Right, and that's the frustration, Chris. A lot of people, as you know, you work out of the house. I work out of the house.
Yeah.
It's frustrating, man. You're trying to do business and you're losing a connection constantly. Then especially when you have a lot of applications up too, man. You got to reboot everything, bring everything back up. It's a pain. It's a pain, man.
Yeah.
It's one thing if it happens once every few months, but it's been.
It has not been this bad in ages, man. Like I said, I've been working from home for over 10 years, dude, and I know that the speeds. Like I typically never had a problem, not until recently. I don't know, man. Maybe it's this new administration not keeping checks and balances. But what I could say is the city of Bella Vista is profiting off all the money that we're paying, right? That was Peter Christie's initiative to get an internet sales tax. And we're paying a lot of money for internet, man. Some people are paying in excess of $240 a month for unlimited because they do have data caps through Cox. And I want to bring this up because I want to show people just before we did the show, right? We popped on. We're like, oh, wait a minute. Got an issue. Let's go ahead and reset and we'll start the show. And even after the reboot and the reset, I ran a couple speed tests, one off of Cox, and you'll see this screenshot here in a moment. But this is my speeds that I'm currently getting. Now, I'm supposed to be getting 230, 240 megabits down, and Cox, you're only getting 10 to 11 up. They cap your upload, right?
It's ridiculous.
But this is Cox. I'm getting 125.44 down and 9.35 up. Oh, well, that's not too bad, right? No, it's not too bad, right? But for $240+ a month, or the $100 a month that I'm paying for my T-Mobile, it's giving me 192.92 down and 52.31 up. So yes, for the people who ask the question constantly every time Cox has an issue, T-Mobile is a viable option. Now, I would suggest that you, and this is a month-to-month thing. You're not locked into a contract with them, right? You get the residential gateway. It's a nice box. It runs off of USB-C power. Has 2 Ethernet adapters. So it's a quick hot swap to Cox right now, right? If Cox goes down, I just basically plug a cable right in. But it is wireless as well. So you can go wireless to your devices if you don't want to do that cable swap.
T-Mobile's 5.5 times more on the upload.
Yes.
I mean, it's insane, dude.
It is. And they are working. I get periodic updates. They are working on securing more access in Bella Vista so that they can offer that unlimited internet for $100 a month to residential people. And like that's where I would be looking at, right? If you work from home, this is a viable backup. It's not. I mean, it's $100 a month, but it's, man, in a pinch, you need it, dude. You need it, right? If you're working from home, it's a viable backup. It is a very viable backup.
Doesn't T-Mobile eventually they're going to do that $50, right? Unlimited when it comes out, the 5G? Is that what the goal is?
Well, this is 5G, and it's like I said, unlimited residential internet for $100 a month. So it is a viable option. That's why I like it. I would have never known about this had I not, purchased this for Amped, and we actually used this device out in Vegas for Eastgate Con, and we'll be using this on future endeavors as well.
Well, we can't even keep the signal going for our show, Chris.
Right.
When we were in Cox. How many times we drop out?
How many times have I had to use this for our show? I've had to use this probably every Friday evening for every one of our lives for the past few months, man. It just seems to be more reliable. Too, and we have the upstream. The upstream 52 meg up. You're looking at if we're broadcasting at 720p, which typically we do. He says his Cox is more reliable out here. Ryan, thanks for the comment, Ryan. Your Cox is more reliable out here than it was on Reardon. Dude, I'm telling you, right over here on the east side of Bella Vista, it is not even close to reliable anymore. It used to be pretty rock solid, and I don't know what they've done or who's done what. Maybe China has moved in and started digging. I don't know. China, right? Sometimes you just miss the way the guy said China. But like I said, this is a viable option if you work from home. I'm not hating on it, dude. Like I said, we've had to use this so many times. It's the backup to the backup. It works. Well, you can bond this if you use a service like Speedify and you don't want to do the cable switching. You can have it basically taking the bond. It bonds multiple internet connections, which we used at Eastgate Con as well. So I'm just saying, like, if people ask the questions, I want to provide the answer. This is a viable option.
So it's good information for people that are moving into the area too, Chris, because I see people posting all the time. Which should I check out? It gives them another avenue to go down.
And they do have the option to purchase more bandwidth if you like starting to consume more bandwidth. Like I said, I'm hopeful that in the near future that they will have the unlimited option for Bella Vista addresses 72714. I keep probing them. All they need is like another tower, just so that they can guarantee that you have the throughput.
That'll be it for Cox, man.
I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. I mean, if anything, it's going to create a competitive market with Cox, because Cox is just overpriced bullcrap at this point.
Right.
Don't be a Cox sucker. All right. Check into other options for real.
Yeah. Totally agree, man. Let's get into it.
So, in Budweiser news, Anheuser-Busch still getting beat up on the daily, but you know what? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
This is like Bud Light's parent company. Hold on, this is like the Russian with Apollo Creed, and they're like, "Get out of the break you." Yeah, he's like, "Throw the towel in." Well, this is what like the employees are doing for the executives. Like, throw the towel in. Somebody do something, and yet nobody comes out.
No, but we're what is his name, man? Vigo. Was his name Vigo?
Oh, Drago.
Yeah, he's like, if they die, he dies. Like, we're like, no, we're not drinking your beer no more, brother. Nope. But Bud Light weathers the stock drop after trans partnership backlash. Newsweek.com by Alex Phillips. Bud Light's parent company, Anheuser-Busch, appears to be weathering a recent decline in value following outrage and calls for the boycott of the brand over its partnership with transgender influencer and activist. On April 2nd, Dylan Mulvaney posted a video to her, he, his, they, their, I don't know what, 1.7 million Instagram followers, in which they explained that Bud Light had sent personalized cans with her face on it. To commemorate 365 days of being a girl. We showed that on the show recently. Those who have decried the brand as woke over the partnership have taken credit for a recent drop in Anheuser-Busch's value. The row over transgender brand ambassadors is symbolic of a wider debate about the inclusion of transgender women in female issues and spaces. Some say transgender women should be treated the same as other women, while others say they are different and hard-won women's rights that must be protected. The spokesperson for Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light's parent company, told Newsweek on April 3rd that the company works with hundreds of influencers across our brands, as well as many to authentically connect with audiences across various demographics. They added that the commemorative can had been given to Mulvaney and was a gift to celebrate a personal milestone and was not for sale to the general public. Anheuser-Busch, American Spirit, has lost $4 billion in market value. Grant Stinchfield, this is in a week, y'all. This is in a week, okay? This shows you the power of the people. You don't think one person can make a difference, he added. You better believe you can, because you can take one person and you can add it to the next person and the next person and so on and so on. Daniel Split told Newsweek, like many others, I'm thinking of selling my Budweiser stock if we can't oust the CEO and replace him with something that thinks about the brand, not supporting the minority of people when the majority opposes their dogma.
Right.
Newsweek reached out to Anheuser-Busch via email for comment on Wednesday, and Anheuser-Busch's market capitalization, the total value of a company's shares, has seen a steady rise since mid-March, marking a 6-month upward trend in value, topping out more than $134 billion on March 31st, according to figures by Macrotrend. However, since the furor over the partnership with Mulvaney, it has seen a fall in the value of over $3 billion, with a market cap on April 10th of $130.8 billion. That said, stocks in the company were trading in the high $65 to $66 range until they dropped on April 11th, suggesting the value drop was linked to the uproar, and it was the delayed reaction. Calls to boycott the brand grew from social media posts to reports of genuine acts of defiance against Bud Light. Supporters of Kari Lake, the Donald Trump-backed GOP candidate for Arizona governor in 2022, refused to drink the beer at an open bar in a rally in Iowa. Meanwhile, the bar owner in Kentucky said he had noticed the beer sparking rows between patrons. Anheuser-Busch stocks rose slightly on Tuesday afternoon before dropping again on Wednesday morning as European markets opened up. Even the Europeans are saying, we don't drink in your pee beer. They were trading at around $64.60, a drop of about 3.3% previous day. Grant Stinchfield, Anheuser-Busch, is down $4 billion thanks to all of you. Go woke, go broke. You made the difference. Strength in numbers is what Stinchfield's army is all about. We'll watch Grant Stinchfield over on the Twitters real quick.
Hey, you don't think one person can make a difference? Just one, right here on this platform. You better believe you can. Because you take the one person and you add it to the next person and the next person. This is what Stinchfield's army is all about. And this is what you get. Look at this chart. That's Anheuser-Busch. Anheuser-Busch, America's beer, has lost $4 billion in market value. $4 billion in just 10 days.
That's
just
insane,
10 days
man.
ago, they went transgender crazy and the outrage ensued. It ensued right here. We shut them up. You want to know how I know we shut them up? This is Anheuser-Busch's Instagram. They have not posted since April 1st. Not one post. And I believe they are restructuring inside that corporation to fix the madness that just was unleashed.
I think they're still trying to figure out how many trans activists it takes to remove the foot from their mouth. Right? I mean, like, for real, they're like, a company doesn't post to social media in that long.
11 days they haven't responded. I mean, this is a self-inflicted gunshot wound right here, man. I mean, it's
somebody needs to go out there and do a welfare check, man. Make sure that people are still alive, man. You know, like, for real.
But you know what? What do they think is going to happen? The longer you go on without making a statement, they're just doubling down, man. Distributors are balking at buying it.
I just have a feeling that when this all comes out in the wash, that, you know, there's going to be some people that are just like terminated. That's it. You know, we screwed up, right? They're going to be trying to get the American public back on board with their brand. I don't know if it's going to win or not. I mean, dude, we've seen enough craziness, man. Yeah. We've seen enough craziness in the past 15 years to where it's like, we know you give them an inch, they take a mile, right?
And we talked about this on numerous occasions, Chris, and these corporations always have to do this. Their responsibility is to the shareholders. That's it. They don't need to get into politics. They don't need to take a position.
Their responsibility is the World Economic Forum. Remember, all these people meet multiple times a year. You know, they fly their carbon-emitting jets and drive their super yachts all across the globe, and they meet in these exclusive places, and they take over runways, and they make decisions about how corporate entities are going to do business and what is the best way to get your social credit score as a corporate entity, right?
Right. Right.
And these people sit here and they pander to this whole World Economic Forum stuff, and the global economy as a whole, right? But they forget that the American person is not beholden to anybody but America, right?
Yep.
We all love this country. We all pay taxes to our government, most of us, right? Unless we're billionaires. But we all pay taxes, and we never once said, we're cool with this. So finally, people are waking up and saying, you know what? I don't have to spend my money with your business. I don't have to spend my money in your store. I do not have to support your brand. And you know what? Enough people together shows you the power of the people, right?
Oh, absolutely.
That's why our Constitution starts with "we the people." Enough people stood up to the Queen and her army and said, no more.
So the next earnings call is May 4th. So my suggestion, anybody that has any Budweiser stock, they get out underneath of it now.
I would dump it, man. I would dump it because it's going to go down.
It's only going to get worse.
It's only going down, man. You got to, you know, they say the rats jump off the ship before it freaking sinks because they're in the underbelly of the ship. You're in the underbelly of the ship right now. You can see it for what it is. They screwed up. They took a fiduciary duty and they crapped on it for a woke ideological value that represents maybe if we're talking about drinking age adults, maybe at 1%. If that.
We're looking at people who are purchasing it from the end user. In other words, the retail stores, the supermarkets. Wait till the huge distributors, and there's big distributors out there say, hey, we're curtailing it back. We're not bringing in what we were bringing in before. Then you're going to see the pain come.
And I just want to be clear to our viewers that we're not sitting here beating up, somebody's decision to do. This is the decision of a corporate entity. This is not a personal decision.
Right.
Well, it was a personal decision from somebody at that corporate entity, right? At that business, to do this. But this is not about attacking people who are different. This is not about, demonizing people of the transgender spectrum. Sorry about that. This is about basically, does this company align with your personal values? You remember during Donald Trump's, administration, how many people were going after Chick-fil-A and Hobby Lobby and all these conservative-based companies, and they were boycotting them. Didn't work out too well, right? Because they're strength in numbers. You don't have the numbers, y'all.
Right.
You don't. But you know who does have the numbers? The hard-working American families that spend their money on stuff that, honestly, I think Bud Light's piss water anyway. So I don't drink it. I haven't drank it since, I was like in my 20s, man.
Gives you headaches, man.
It does. It gives you a headache.
Yeah, again, it goes back to, like I said before, the publicly traded company has one responsibility, is to deliver for shareholders. That's it. That's all they should be involved in. Unfortunately, they're one of many that just don't get it, and they're going to feel it the hard way. It's a shame, but we've seen this time and time again. And like you said, people are speaking up. People are done with the nonsense, man. They're done with it.
It's at what point is, okay, we know that the ideological views are in our schools, we have those talks with our kids, right? We monitor what's going on with our kids. But now that it's like, it's everywhere, dude. It's in your beer now. Can't I just sit back and relax and have a beer without worrying about what the value of this beer is doing to our youth, right? It shouldn't be doing anything to our youth. Right. Let's be real, right? Mulvaney's
I agree.
demographic is non-beer drinking age people.
Right.
It's kids. He's a gamer, right? His following is not beer drinking age people. Sorry, he's not.
Someone in the marketing department thought this was genius, Real men of genius.
Real men of genius. Real men of genius.
You know what I'm saying?
Here's to you, to Mr. Male Cheerleader Man. Yeah. Real men of genius.
I just think this is so funny. The fact that they haven't even made a public statement in 11 days, man. How long are you going to let it go on?
Their statements like the dude from The Hangover, man. He's like, hey, we messed up. We got the wrong dog.
Yeah.
For real,
Yeah.
it is. Man.
Yeah.
It fits. But again, this is the strength of the American person, right? Is we have the ability to obviously show up to ballot boxes and vote,
Right.
and we need to start taking these rights and freedoms that we have very seriously. You also need to vote with your dollars, right?
Yeah.
Support companies that aren't pushing this propaganda on you or out into the masses, right?
Right.
Why? I mean, I don't understand this move to this, right? But like the article says, man, what did it say? People don't want to put up with their dogma. Well, your dogma, obviously, Anheuser-Busch's dogma got ran over by the American person's karma. Because we're done, dude.
Yeah.
Done.
But here's the thing, man. They're on board with this, man, because they haven't even made a statement. It says to me they're going full throttle. They're going forward. They're willing to go right down the tubes and take all the investors with them.
I think the collective brain trust over there is trying to figure out how do we wiggle our way out of this one. This blew up in our face, guys. It really did. How do we wiggle our way out of this,
man? I'd be selling those shares like they're going out of style, man.
Unfortunately, some people just, this too shall pass. People have a short memory, right?
Ride it into the dirt, man.
Yeah. We riding this thing all the way to the wheels fall off, man. That's like, that stuff's in the negative, man. Then we'll just buy more. People got a short memory. They'll still drink beer. We made sure that when we locked them all down for over a year, right? Bunch of alcoholic fucks. Sorry, pardon my French. They knew what they was doing, man. Alcohol sales through the roof during COVID, man.
Yeah. Well, people didn't know they're gonna live, man. Right? They got everybody all worked up.
Whatever, man. If I'm going out, I'm going out with a buzz.
Yeah. Oh man.
Well, Bentonville, the planner's okay rezoning for site planned development, including retail and office space, hotel and housing. Yes, this is coming to Bentonville. That area over there off of Central and Battlefield Road, right next to Smoking Joe's?
Yeah.
Nice. I stopped over there. I think we did some video during Halloween to show that person's house they had out there too, right? We driving around looking at cool, just homegrown Halloween stuff, and but there's I'll show everybody on Google Map, but I want everybody to think about this when they see this too. All right, we'll zoom in a little bit because I know it's hard for people to see, but all right. So Smoking Joe's is right over here, the red roof, right? And there's this section. This is the old White Oak, the gas station that used to be there, and it's closed down. Well, this area that I've outlined is the property in question, and you can see the amount of residential buildup around it, and there's a church there, right?
Yep.
I'm not sure if the church is included in the parcel or not, but what I can tell you is Bentonville, in their infinite wisdom, thinks it's a wise decision to do a
plan unit.
Let's just start 8.73 acres. That would consist of approximately 9,000 square feet of retail space, 40,000 square feet of office space, 150 room hotel, and 500 multifamily housing units, according to planning documents. That's an apartment complex. They're talking about this being a $200 million project, and it's going to be a 7-story multifamily dwelling.
Those poor houses behind them would be like a full eclipse.
Do you want your house just to be in the shadow of a 7-story building in Bentonville, Arkansas? Because that's what's coming.
I bet you half those people aren't even aware of it, to be honest with you.
Probably is this a good thing to just pop up in a neighborhood?
No. Well, this reminds me of our battle with Dollar General on the east side in Medfield. Remember? Right in front of those townhomes.
7-story?
Yeah, that's not even
building.
I know this is out of hand. This is crazy. I
want to know who's behind it. I really want to know who's behind it.
An investor, another major investor. I'm sure $250 million is going to be around there. Yeah. So it's. I'm sure we'll know in the next few months what's going to happen.
Conditional
Yeah,
use permit at 811 Southwest 3rd Street for Westwood CFA LLC. The conditional use is for a remote parking lot for expansion of Chick-fil-A. Have you been on Walton lately?
it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, man. Well, that's the thing.
Don't mess with the Lord's chicken, man. You know?
The infrastructure can't handle it. That's the problem. You're having to build out, and there's not enough. I mean, it's just gridlock.
I was trying to just wrap my mind around how anybody could be down with this. Like that like is on a city council, right? And it just really just boggles my mind. Is this just really just like stupid people, or is this just poor planning and like they just don't know any better? I don't know.
I don't think they understand the repercussions.
To put a 7-story building up. I mean, what's our tallest building that we have in Bentonville, bro? 4, 5, maybe 6 stories. Maybe I don't know. Yeah. Right? 7 stories.
It's the rationale
in a residential area.
No, it's like you said before. It's one of those things like, hey, it's not in my backyard. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? That's the rationale. They're like, okay, we'll vote for it. Yeah, it's not near us, so it's not going to affect us. But those people behind there are going to be affected greatly. You know?
Yeah. And on top of it, man, the density of apartment complexes and everything else that's coming in, it's like, you know, it goes back to that planning comment, right? We want to bring all these people here, right? There's goals to bring a bunch of people here by 2030, but we don't have the infrastructure to support them. We don't have the infrastructure to support the influx of right now, right? Rentals, apartment rentals in high density is at a record low of vacancy, right? And on top of it, the housing. You're in real estate, Mark. You could give me an update any day of the week, but you know that houses are still selling and there's not a lot of inventory.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. It's picking up again. It's starting to accelerate because you're getting into the spring and the kids are going to be out of school soon, and it's going to get more active, and the interest rates have come off somewhat. So
New York City, Chicago, Seattle, Portland, California, people are exiting in massive droves due to policies and politics. And they're coming here, you know, and I don't know, man. I don't know what the answer is, but it's poor planning. It has to be poor planning. Oh crap. Here's another one, right?
Yep.
Hey man, we messed up. We got the wrong duck. We got the wrong duck.
There's no do-overs, man.
I don't know, man. But
we'll have to see how that plays out.
I just can't believe they're going to do that to people. Like I said, look at the contrast here, man. All these single-family homes, and you're going to put a 7-story building up.
Oh, there's cranes in downtown left and right. I mean, that is insane. And even in the last year or two, the build-out, it's just insane. I mean, if it keeps on growing like that, I mean, heck, someday it could be bigger than Fayetteville.
I think we're on track to be the next LA in the next 20, 30 years, man. We really are. Moving on, man. The U.S. gets 500,000 artillery shells on loan from South Korea to fill plummeting stocks. Yes, that's right. We the people of the United States, are requesting a loan of ammunition for our U.S. military now. Because why? Well, we've given away a lot of that over to the Ukraine. Daily Caller, man. So embarrassing.
Who's the inventory guy,
just
man?
Embarrassing, dude. U.S. reached an agreement last month to obtain 500,000 rounds of 155 millimeter artillery shells on loan from South Korea. Reuters reported Wednesday, citing a South Korean newspaper, U.S. stocks of the 155 millimeter round, which see a high level of consumption on the battlefield in Ukraine, have fallen to critically low levels, and the Biden administration sought artillery ammunition from South Korea in March, according to documents. South Korea will lend the shells to the U.S. rather than selling them to avoid the possibility of those shells being delivered to Ukraine in a future assistance package, thereby violating a South Korean policy against supplying lethal items to countries at war. The Donghae Ilbo outlet reported, citing government sources according to Reuters. South Korea's defense ministry told Reuters that Seoul and allies are exploring a variety of ways to provide Ukraine with much-needed munitions, but did not speak to specific discussions or agreements. We've opted to significantly increase the volume of shells, but take the rental method after exploring how. So we're renting an explosive ordnance device. That's awesome, man. Hope you paid that deposit, right?
You could buy one, get one free, man.
I just don't know how you can rent something like this, man. It just doesn't. I don't know. International arms dealer, man. I should have went to that class, dude.
I guess we needed the artillery and what have you when we had it in Afghanistan with everything that we left there, huh?
Possibly, maybe. I don't know. I remember stockpiles of munitions and small crew serve weapons and stuff being available on the internet back then. You know, guys doing poses and everything else. So I'm sure there's 155 millimeter artillery shells out there on the eBays or the dark eBays, whatever you want to call them. Right?
It's insane, man.
It's just such an embarrassment, man. Another embarrassment from this administration that you can't supply our military. You can't even replenish military service members. Man, recruiting's at a record low right now. Why? Because people are not fit for duty.
Yeah.
Wonder what happened.
Yeah. Well, Zelensky too, man. I bet she's been requesting more, more ammunition. But
he keeps on showing up to Grandpa's house asking for another, allowance.
Black bag of money, baby.
Black bag of money. Just flies in, gets a bundle of cash, and flies out. Bella Vista, Arkansas, man. Discover Bella Vista, dude. They're pushing the propaganda real heavy. Sponsored ads with your taxpayer dollars. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Bella Vista, Arkansas, 250 plus stylish places to stay. 100 plus miles of nature trails, plus just a few oaks shy of a bazillion trees. How cute. Adds up to one heck of a spot for your next outdoor getaway. Outdoor getaways since 1950. Yeah, okay. Look, bro, I'm getting mixed messages right here. Are we for short-term rentals or are we against short-term rentals? I'm confused at this point because the last data that I had showed that we had what? 28 permits issued as of 4/7/23. Where are we getting this 200 number from?
I think with the ongoing lawsuit, and I think people are starting to figure out, hey, I don't need to listen to this nonsense. Let's just let this lawsuit
Civil
play
disobedience 101.
Yeah,
Make them sue you. Tell them to get bent.
I'm proud for the other 430 people out there right now. And listen, I keep on seeing people posted in these stories with them getting rejections on stuff that's just it's just so ridiculous.
It is. People are getting rejected for an older Cooper home because their windows aren't big enough. The amount of cost, and we've been saying this whole time, and the amount of cost that it's going to create for a person, it's going to be cost prohibitive and selectively enforced on top of it. Some people are being dinged for their decks. Some people aren't, even though their deck clearly doesn't meet the requirements of what the other person was cited. It's selective enforcement at best.
Right. Well, they got their little checklist, but they don't adhere to it. They just find other things, and that's what it is. They're targeting specific groups and people, and that's what the lawsuit's all about. And then they're doing it the same thing when they come in and do their little investigation.
Oh, where they storm the short-term rental and look for GFIs and under your cabinets and. Where's your smoke detectors, bro? What are you hiding?
Right.
This is just another embarrassment.
It's not even
just another failed example of failed government, man. People who just have no business sticking their nose into the business of we the people.
Right. Was there 460 something? I don't even know the number anymore, but 28.
He was making it like we were encroaching on the 500 number,
Yeah.
Oh, Doug Fowler.
That's Doug.
If you don't know who we're talking about. Oh, we got the wrong Doug. No, we got the right one on this one, bro. But yeah, it's like, are we for short-term rentals? Or are we against short-term rentals? Because you dang sure are proud to promote it, even though you don't have those numbers according to your own permitting process.
Right. I wouldn't do anything until the case is tried, man. I'm not doing. If I had a couple of those, I wouldn't do anything. Why? Why would you do that?
I wouldn't do that.
Wait till it plays out in the courts and go from there. Because you're going to put all this money into this
I just
stuff.
look at them like they got corn growing out of their ears. You mean I got to do what? No, You're not coming into my house, bro.
Right.
Sorry, not happening. No reason for you to be here.
But this is what
you're getting your tax money A&P is getting their tax money. Airbnb does that. VRBO does that.
Right.
You don't need nothing from me at this point.
Right.
You can see your ass out of my AO, area of operation. That's how that works.
Yeah.
And if you don't like what I'm saying to you, have your attorney, Perry Mason Jr., come and sue my ass. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
There will be a lawsuit. There will be a precedent set. And all of this, spending of extra monies to fix your windows and fix your decks and all this other stuff.
Yeah, the nonsense.
Be wasted
it's
money.
All nonsense.
Man. It really
Yeah,
will.
it's all nonsense.
Getting those additional insurance riders because Airbnb's insurance isn't good enough.
Yeah,
They've publicly been on record on that too, haven't they? It ain't real insurance.
How many millions of dollars do you have to put on for? I mean, why would you have to put more? I mean, it's $3-5 million. I mean, it's insane, dude. It's just insane. I can't even wrap my head around this. It's just
it's just a bad carnival ride, man.
It's like another train. It's like another train derailment, man.
It really is.
What else we got going on out there?
Oh, what else do we got going on out there? Well, let's see. Do I have to talk about this? I guess I do. New York Post, 2,000 residents ordered to evacuate after the fire erupts at an Indiana recycling plant. 2,000 people were ordered to evacuate from an Indiana town after a massive fire broke out after a recycling plant, or at a recycling plant on Tuesday. Plumes of acrid black smoke billowed into the sky over the plant in Richmond, Indiana, about 30 miles west of Dayton, Ohio.
Don't you think it's a little odd? All these things have been happening over the last couple months.
All these fires, all this.
Yeah, nothing to see here.
Look at this. Look, I mean, I don't understand, why this city, at least this city, I got to give a shout out to this, the elected leaders of this city saying, man, this is bad for people in the immediate area. Maybe they should evacuate. Unlike our city. Well, we got it under control. We're monitoring it. Don't worry. It's all good. Nothing hazardous.
It sucked it in for forever. Yeah.
Give me a break.
I'd let my kids play out there.
Yeah, I'd let my kids play out there too, man. I mean, they're nothing.
That's from the EPA.
It's just trash, man. Don't worry about it. You guys will be fine, right? And nearly 20,000 cattle die in a fire at a dairy farm. Yes, that's right. Upwards of 18,000 cattle died in a fire that started on Monday night in South Fork Dairy. Right, Texas officials say thousands of cattle have died in a fire at a dairy farm. Officials said only a small percentage of the animals at the facility survived the fire, with them having to be moved to separate areas. Again, it just seems how many manufacturing and food plants and stuff and supply chains have been attacked. I don't know. Maybe it's time to start vetting the people that are crossing our borders and working at these facilities and stuff.
Right.
Just say it, right? You just start to see more and more of this happen, though, right?
Yeah,
don't worry.
it is. It's happening a lot.
Nothing to worry about, y'all. Right? It's totally normal.
This is an isolated
The world is burning. Trains are flipping over. Chickens are being killed. Cows are being killed. Recycling plants emitting dioxins and everything else into your children's lungs. Totally normal, y'all. Nothing wrong here. It's all fine. Don't worry. Biden will probably make another mumbling statement about some of this stuff in the near future. Don't worry. You're good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's good old Joe.
Yeah. Well, Corn Pop was a bad dude. Not Joe. Man. Governor Asa Hutchinson heading to Iowa. Midwest.
It's hard to believe it's right around the corner. I can't wait, man. Can't wait. I mean, I can't wait to see who comes out to roll out for president.
Oh, Possum himself, man. Possum Smiles himself, right there.
I want to see. I want to see Bernie come out. I want to see like a Chuck Schumer roll out. I want to see a couple because I like when they start slapping him around here and there. I think there's going to be. What do you think? Is it going to be another one of them like 17, 18?
I just have to relate to my experience of watching this man as governor in Northwest Arkansas, or governor of Arkansas, but how he colluded with one of the wealthiest families in this country during COVID to keep their stores open and appoint them to the economic recovery reopening of Arkansas. program as well. And on top of it, his just fumbling of the stump dump situation, declaring it an emergency, but then doing absolutely zero. Sorry, man. How you gonna manage the country which is on fire right now if you can't even handle a small fire in Bella Vista, Arkansas, bro? Like,
I don't.
Some people
think
just need to just step away and retire, man. Enjoy the remainder of your days because you ain't it. You ain't it.
Yeah,
man.
I think this is I think his people are misinformed. I think they're feeding him the wrong information. I think he has no shot whatsoever winning the presidency. You know, I really don't.
Eminem said it best, man. You only get one shot. Mom spaghetti on your shirt. I don't care, bro.
But there's just so many.
This man will not get my vote at all. I don't think he was a good governor, and that's representative of the fact that even our sheriff's departments and our county sheriffs aren't even being paid full price for people that they're having to house, right? But yet we have billions of dollars of money in surplus. What's that sitting around doing, right?
Yeah.
SB 197 is another example, right? There's no record of a vote on this. You go out to the state legislator site, there's no tally of a vote. Just shut down immediately. I want to know who voted yes and who voted no, because I will make damn sure that when they're up for re-election, that we put that out on the record, man.
Well, we always talk about transparency, right? And in this case, again, it doesn't happen, and then they just play it off like it's no big deal. It's unacceptable.
To see here, man. Nothing to see here.
Right. Right.
From the government. We're here to help.
Yep. Yeah.
We're not. Well, that's it, man. That's your midweek update, bro.
Yeah. Good stuff, man.
Remember to like, share, subscribe, tell a friend about the podcast. We are just talking, what we see and what we think about it. And then some, son. Till the next one, y'all. Have a great weekend, great rest of your week. We'll see you guys on Friday night. Maybe we'll do a little giveaway too. Live viewers only.
Awesome.
All right, brother.
All right, everybody. Take care.
Y'all have a good one. We'll catch you on the flip side. We out.
I'm not afraid to take a stand. Everybody.